Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Bioscience Guide. Today the topic is human heart overview, types, structure and blood circulation. In this video, we will explore the types of heart focusing on myogenic and neurogenic types, the detailed structure of human heart and blood circulates within the heart that keep our body functioning. Heart, it is the main organ of circulatory system of organism. It is a muscular organ that pumps blood throughout the body, sustaining life. Depending on their mode of contraction, the hearts are of two types: neurogenic heart and myogenic heart. Neurogenic heart, in which the waves of contraction originate from the nerve cell which are found near the heart. The heartbeat is initiated by a ganglion situated near heart. The heart stops beating immediately after death of an organism. Example, most arthropods and some annelids. Myogenic heart, in which the waves of contraction originated in the muscles fiber of the heart. The heartbeat is initiated by nodes and the impulse of the contraction originates itself. The heart continues to beat for some time after removal from body. Example, vertebrates and molluscs. The structure of human heart is triangular in shape. The human heart is found in the thoracic cavity situated in between two lungs. It is about 250 grams in weight and larger in size in male than in females. External structure of human heart. It is a conical muscular organ which is enclosed by a double-walled pericardium. The outer layer of pericardium is called parietal pericardium and the inner wall of pericardium is called visceral pericardium. In between the outer and inner, the parietal and visceral pericardium, there is a pericardial fluid which provides protection from shock and mechanical injury. Human heart has four chambers, two auricles and two ventricles. The right part of the heart consists impure blood and the left part consists pure blood. The external structure consists auricles, ventricles, aorta and pulmonary trunk. Auricles, which are the upper two in number, thin-walled chamber. The left auricle, which is smaller but the right auricle is greater. The right auricle receives impure blood from one superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, and one coronary sinus. Right auricle receives impure blood from one superior vena cava from upper part of the body, one inferior vena cava from lower part of the body, and one coronary sinus from heart. The left auricles, which receives pure blood from lungs by two pairs of pulmonary veins, the right and the left auricles, which are externally separated by a vertical interauricular groove. The auricle and the ventricle are externally separated by an oblique groove called auriculoventricular sulci. Ventricles are thick-walled chambered. The left ventricle is longer and 3 times thicker than right ventricle. The right ventricle receives the impure blood from right auricle and the left ventricle receives pure blood from left auricle. The right ventricle pumps impure blood into the pulmonary aorta, which carries into the right and left lungs. Aorta and pulmonary trunk. Aorta is arised from left ventricle and it divides into ascending and descending aorta. The ascending aorta again divides into branchocephalic, left common carotid and left subclavian. The pulmonary trunk, which is arised from right ventricle, which divides into right pulmonary arteries and left pulmonary arteries, and both carry deoxygenated blood into the lungs. The internal structure of human heart consists of auricle, ventricles, bicuspid and tricuspid valves, semilunar valves. Auricles, which are thin-walled chamber, and internally they are separated by interauricular septum. The right auricle, which receives impure blood from superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, and coronary sinus. The inferior vena cava consists Eustachian valves and coronary sinus consists coronary valves. The left auricle, which receives pure blood by 2 pairs of pulmonary veins from lungs. Ventricles are thick-walled chamber and they are separated by an interventricular septum. The left ventricle is longer and thick-walled. The left ventricle pumps pure blood forcefully into the aorta. Internally, the wall of ventricle consists ridges called columni carni, which increases the surface area. The bicuspid and tricuspid valves. The auricles and the ventricles, which are separated internally by a wall called auriculoventricular septum. The auricles open into the ventricles through auriculoventricular aperture. The left auriculoventricular aperture consists bicuspid valve or mitral valve, which having 2 flaps. The right auriculoventricular aperture consists tricuspid valve having 3 flaps. The semilunar valves, which are present on aorta and pulmonary trunk, which having 3 flaps and like half moon in structure. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to my channel Bioscience Guide to stay updated with more biology-free content. The blood circulation through the heart, in which the impure blood present in the different organs of our body, which is collected by the venous capillaries and into the veins, which carries through the superior and inferior vena cava into the right auricle. Due to contraction of the right auricle, the impure blood is pumped into the right ventricle through tricuspid valves. When the right ventricle contracts, the deoxygenated blood is pumped into the pulmonary artery through the semilunar valves, and it carries the impure blood into the lungs for oxygenation or purification. Now, the blood gets oxygenated in the lungs, and the oxygenated blood gets returned into the left auricle through right and left pulmonary veins. As the left ventricle contracts, and now the pure blood or oxygenated blood from left auricle is passed into the left ventricle through bicuspid valve. As the left ventricle contracts, the oxygenated blood is pumped forcefully through the systematic aorta and is distributed with the help of arteries into arterioles and capillaries to the different organ or parts of body. Thank you for watching.